So everybody, I normally don't post on YouTube here, but this is the first time I'm posting in a while. But I just saw Transformers 1 in early access. Here's my full non-spoiler review.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
This movie is for old Transformers fans, new Transformers fans, and everybody outside of the fan base. I was skeptical when I first saw the first trailers for this movie, but overall I saw the second trailer. It sort of made me a little bit more hype, and as they continued the marketing for the movie, I really started to get more attached to the movie itself and get myself more hyped up. Now, I went into this movie not knowing what to expect, sort of. I knew that there was the backstory of Optimus Prime and D16, but also there's a lot more to it. Their brotherhood or evolution of their friendship goes throughout this movie. There's funny moments, there's sad moments, there's epic moments, and I will say the last 30 minutes of this film is amazing. This is going to be quite shorter of a video. I just kind of wanted to explain my overall thoughts of seeing this movie in early access, and I really do think that this movie, especially for anybody, is a must-see for Transformers fans and outside. This is a prequel to pretty much everything Transformers, as it explains the backstory of Optimus Prime and Megatron, but also Transformers themselves. If you want to get into Transformers, this is the movie to see. If you like Transformers, this is the movie to see. That's the best way to explain it. This is peak Transformers. All we could ask for was a movie set on Cybertron. We got that here. This is the first movie out of 3. I honestly think that this is going to be one of the greatest movies you've seen if you're a Transformers fan. Obviously, it's not the best, but there's some things that I don't like and some things that I do like. One of the things I don't like is, it's kind of non-spoiler territory, but the shift in dynamic of character for D16 was a little bit abrupt. I think it could have been fleshed out a little bit more to explain how he becomes Megatron. I think it's a little bit too abrupt. It's not very impactful when it wants to be, but it also is at the same time. It's hard to explain. I also think Orion Pax's character here is a little bit strong, but a little bit more comedic at the same time. But they did do very well here, especially with the voice actors. I was very skeptical of Chris Hemsworth's voice going into this movie because I am a giant Peter Cullen, fan in general. And when I first heard his voice, I was like, oh no, it's just another actor. It's like Chris Pratt playing Mario. It's just gonna sound like Chris Pratt. But no, his voice does evolve throughout the movie. He's playing Orion Pax. Then later on, as the character evolves, his voice changes. I honestly think it's pretty strong. Honestly, prefer it over most of the Optimus Prime voices I've heard, especially if you've seen the Netflix series for Transformers, the War for Cybertron series on Netflix. It's way better than that Optimus Prime voice ever could be. But even in the trailers and all of the marketing for this movie, they were really strong and heavily showing that Chris Hemsworth wasn't really going for a Peter Cullen sort of Optimus Prime voice, sort of his own take on it, and it worked. I liked it. It fits the character, fits the motive, and overall it's just amazing. I will say Megatron as well, D16, his voice actor is very, very good. Probably my favorite out of the film, to be honest. I feel like his voice fits Megatron very, very well, and especially the last 30 minutes of this film. It's not spoiler at all, but the last 30 minutes of this film is really action-packed. You guys are gonna really enjoy that section of the movie because this is pure peak Transformers. And I will say there are cameos of, they are already shown in the trailer, Shockwave, Starscream, and Soundwave, and they all have a part in this movie, and it seems like there's a lot of cameos for Transformers fans that you guys would like as well. I'm not going to explain who, but if you know your Transformers, you're going to drop all the balls when you see who's in this movie. So overall, I would give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. It's definitely not my favorite Transformers film. That is Rise of the Beast. I've seen all the Transformers films hundreds of times. I like to say that, but it's been a lot since I've seen all of them, and Rise of the Beast for me is still up there on number 1, but this movie is a must-see, and I highly recommend it. So thanks.